and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, and welcome, of course, to another video talking about the loadout that I will be rocking at Tupelo Airsoft Club's 3rd annual toy drive. Today we talk about the belt, or at least, in this case, my quote-unquote battle belt. I call it a quote-unquote battle belt because I don't really have a battle belt in the traditional sense. This one's just a Alice belt, which I guess you could claim is technically the original battle belt, but it's one of those things. So enough of my gabbing, let's go ahead and talk about my battle belt here, or at least the Alice belt. So, the Alice belt itself is actually somewhat very good. It has the same standard thing of any Alice belt, and like the one where it had the gray where you actually pulled up and then you pulled out, this one has a standard clicker. Anyway though, on the battle belt itself is my M10 holster. This thing holds almost everything. This thing can actually hold a Luger, which I'm actually hoping to get more magazines for someday. But yeah, no, this thing can fit a lot of pistol varieties, ironically enough. One of them being a few revolvers. However, the issue is that if it has Picatinny on them, that it has issues with Picatinny. So, yeah, I literally have issues with Picatinny because if I try to put anything with Picatinny on this, it's going to have a hard time pulling it out, and it's going to be an issue and a half actually trying to quickly pull it out, which is why I try to go with handguns that have either a small Picatinny or not as pronounced Picatinny on them, so that way they are easy to get in and out. The holster itself is actually fairly good, quick to get in. It had issues in the past apparently with M9 handguns, which this was originally designed for, where the safety on the slides would actually get caught on this and it would cause negligent discharges. I've not had that yet in terms of airsoft, but then again, I'm not really using an M9. I'm using everything other than an M9 in the holster. Going over to the left side of my battle belt, we have, of course, some Alice pouches. We have 2 mag pouches here, or flashlight pouches, basically 2 single pouches to basically have pistol magazines in, or a flashlight in, or really anything of that nature in. Then we have this little pouch right here, which is meant for like a compass, first aid, like small gauze, things like that. I'm having that to house a little 20-round styled magazine. And it does fit very well in there. So, yeah, this is one of my oh shit magazines that I have. That if I'm in a prolonged firefight and I start going to these short magazines, then I start going, oh shit, I'm about to run out of ammo. I've had that happen to me before many times on that field, which is why, learning my lesson, I'm taking high caps. So that way, if, heaven forbid, you know, something does happen, you know, I'm at least going to have a high, like, I'm going to start out with a mid cap, then a high cap, then a mid cap, then a high cap, then a mid cap, then a high cap. Basically, I'm going to interchange between my magazines, that way I at least know what I'm dealing with. Or I might do high caps, then mid caps, then the oh shit magazines. And that's what I call my little 20-rounders, is the oh shit magazines, because again, if I'm to these magazines, that's what I'm going to like, oh shit. Now on to that which is going to protect my hands. Now my gloves before, which I got these at Christmas, so this is definitely something that's been around, that's been with me for a while now. They are mechanics gloves. To be exact, they are mechanics impact gloves, sadly not in OD green, but multicam. They have actually worked out fairly well for me, not really protected my hand all that much from hand shots, but they have definitely worn their welcome. I've used these for everything, from farm work to gameplay to damn near everything, and they've gotten their worth out of it. Whether or not I'll keep using these is definitely a question, but in terms of these being used at the game, not so much. The other gloves is what I'm going to be using instead of my mechanics impact gloves. Gloves I will be using are these. These are hard knuckle gloves. They are a little bit more thick and definitely going to help with the colder weather. The impact gloves for mechanics are a little bit more thinner material, which means that my hands are going to get cold. These are a little more thicker material, which means my hands are not going to get cold. They do have material on the middle finger and thumb, so that way I can actually use my phone and stuff. And they have this lovely bit of material right here on the hand, so that way I can actually happily grip my gun a little better. Now, they are hard knuckles, of course, so that's definitely going to be a plus, especially with these pronounced knuckles, which are definitely going to help protect my knuckles from hand shots. The thicker material is definitely going to help out as well. They're in black. I would like to have had them in OD green. Now, I did not buy these. I found these, actually, at a house I was helping clean up. So these are not really bought. These are more found. So I don't know the actual brand of these things. I don't know exactly what they are. But what I will say is that these are definitely going to help out in the long run. I am looking at gloves like these in OD green, but that's just that, more or less. Again, I'm hoping to get these gloves in OD green someday. Now, I know you're asking, why am I using these gloves instead of the impacts, or at least something of that nature? Again, lessons learned from Tupelo Airsoft Club have been that the material, the structures there, as well as the environment, is not good for impact gloves. They're really not. The environment itself and even the materials around it are better for thicker gloves, especially for the weather. For those of you who've never been in the South or in December, it's a little warm in the morning. A little bit, not a lot. But once it starts getting later in the afternoon, the temperature starts dropping, meaning that it's going to get cold. And if you are not insulated, you're gonna get cold. Now, last December, of course, it did have a warm spell, and I do mean a warm spell. I mean, dear God, we had it up in the 60s and 70s last December during Christmas. That was weird. Even Thanksgiving last year was almost up in the 80s. Like, my God, I was walking around in shorts. But this year could be different. We could be seeing a colder winter, so I'm not going ill-prepared. I'm going there with the gloves needed to keep myself warm, even having a inner layer glove to wear on it, so that way I'm a little bit more warm. The other thing is the extra protection in the environment, because again, it is a wooded area, so prickle bushes, even though everything else is dying in the cold, prickle bushes do not, meaning that I need something to protect my hands from being stuck. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest reason why I'm wearing these gloves. Again, aside from protecting my hands from being shot up, protecting myself from the cold, everything of that nature, that's just how it is. Either way, though, thank you all so very much for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL. Hopefully this information and my reasoning for it gave you a little bit of insight into what I'm going to be using to protect, not only as a battle belt, but also to protect my hands from the environment there. Now, the next bit of video, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is on the vest I'll be rocking. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the vest. Hopefully, you'll like it. But, till then, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you want to help support the channel, or you want to help out with the donations to the 3rd annual toy drive, consider donating to the PayPal down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I shall see all you lovely, lovely people in the next video. And if you want to learn more about the 3rd annual toy drive at Tupelo Airsoft Club, there will be a link in the pinned comment down below. And I hope to see you all there. Till next time.